Moving on to Excel page 120, still module 5. We're still in the April sales tab. We're going to go ahead this time though and move to the loan tab. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here. We're going to work on the payment function, which is probably one of the most valuable ones you could possibly use, because you can find car payments, all that stuff, and you don't necessarily have to follow online calculators. You can set it up your own and find out different options if you're interested in buying a car, saving up, and that type of thing. So I'm going to start at number 1. We're on loan sheet. We're going to go to F5. We have all our data from these potential loans. And we're going to go to financial and hit PMT, which is our payment function. So if anything says PMT in this unit, it's usually referring to this payment function. Once this pops up, we're essentially going to fill this out to figure out how to calculate it. So first of all, we need to find the rate, which is interest. So I'm going to click in interest, which is D5. Then we type divided by 12. Interest is always stated in terms of a year. So this interest is in 4.75%. So for our math to work right, we have to divide by 12 because it's over the course of a year. And the interest is going to be applied monthly. Number 3, with the insertion point, we're going to go to down here, number of periods is how many months you're going to make the payments. So for this one, we have 120 months. We're going to go to PV, which is present value. And I'm going to go ahead, and in the book it has you change this in the next cell. But I'm going to do it right now because when we owe money, we set it as negative, because when we make a car payment, we don't say my payment's negative $160. We just say 160. So we need the math to come out to sound like that. So I'm going to hit negative. And then PV is present value. It's the amount we borrowed. So I'm going to click on B5 at that point. Then I can hit the check mark or hit the enter button or hit OK. And then we have our monthly payment set up. We're going to drag this fill handle through F5 to F7 so we have that payment calculated all the way down there. Next, I'm on step 6. I'm moving to G5 and I'm going to type equals and then E5. Then I'm going to type the asterisk, which is right above the 8. Then I'm going to hit F5. And if I hit tab, it'll actually kick me to the next cell. If you're uncomfortable, you could hit enter and then click in the next cell. And then I'm going to do equals, and this time I'm going to take G5. I'm going to type minus B5. And you can hit the check mark or enter. Now what just happened is total payments is how much money I paid on this loan throughout the course of the loan. So after I've paid this off, making this monthly payment for 120 months, this is a total amount of money I paid in. So then I take that total amount and subtract what I originally borrowed, and that tells me how much interest I paid. So I paid the bank $129,000 to borrow this money in this particular case. So I'm going to highlight these two, and this is step 7, and we're just going to drag these formulas down. And then they should be matching up with what you're seeing in your text. And that's Excel 120, and that's the end of the chapter problem. So at this point, you're all set to go ahead and submit this in Schoology.